But why does gym culture skew conservative?
That's a good question. At GQ, like I actually like interviewed like Andrew Huberman, like pre like all his stuff that went down.
I mean, he was doing it.
He was doing it.
He would go to the bathroom and just like he's like, I gotta go text 5 people. Be right back.
Yeah. Dude, it was like of course you're gonna like spreadsheet your like sex life. You know what I mean? Like
he's
it's like
very
very
efficient.
organized. Yeah. Why would you not?
All day, every day.
They all go outside at the same time with the sunrise. They look at the sun and he texts them all while he's looking at the sun. Like, good morning, beautiful.
Thinking of you.
Hope you're getting your sun in.
He's just the future meme in real life, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. And then like after I interviewed him and the interview kind of popped off online, a bunch of conservatives slid in my DMs and were like, yeah, it's like you guys should be thinking about this stuff more. Like, it's like, I was like, oh, really? He was like, yeah. He's like, conservatives, like we have this in a chokehold. Like
Huberman doesn't feel that. Of all those dudes, he feels like the least.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks, like an Adonis, but he feels like the least. I don't know, like fascist.
Yeah. No, I still fuck with him.
Most
like
rational.
he's like a cool dude who like skateboarded with a bunch of dudes who got famous and like listens to Bjork. It's like that was his whole vibe.
But when you got these DMs, when they refer to you as you guys, are they speaking about like you and like the GQ set?
I think so.
like
I think it's just like mass media, and then they like conflate that with the left in a weird way. But
the liberal elites.
Yeah, but it's also weird too because I feel like it's like a lot of very progressive people also like work out a lot too. Like there's like a handful, especially in like what I like about Muay Thai that's really interesting is like sort of like the cultural trickle down is like a little bit more rooted in Buddhism versus like thin blue line shit that MMA comes from. And there's like a handful of like trans fighters there who are like beating up dudes and like doing all this kind of stuff, and I'm like, yeah, this shit is righteous. And it's like it's and I do feel like there's that was kind of the opportunity with heavies too, to like bring a sort of a progressive lens to like gym culture and fighting and like all this other cool stuff that I'm into.
It's not just for the for the MAGA bros, for the Nelk boys or whatever those.
I know. Yeah. I would love to fight a MAGA bro. That would be like so fun.
Yeah. But also, what's with like the LA wellness stuff too? Because I've met a few where like
seem like there's a pipeline.
It's like a slippery slope into conspiracy theorydom and
totally.
no seed oil.
Yeah, I think it's just the algorithms, dude. Like it's like the other day I was like looking up for like a simple gym thing. I was like, oh, I want to do like some like hip stretches or whatever. And like my sidebar was immediately like an Andrew Tate video. And I was like, yo, that was real fast, dude. Like, and I was like, yeah. And he's the worst too.
He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
If you want tight hips, then you're a libtard.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone at the DNC had the tightest hips.
Oh, dude, I know. They also had tight pants still, so that was.
Well, conservatives are still in the tight pants.
Oh yeah.
You watch like Matt Walsh, the Daily Wire dudes. They're all dressing like gay men in 2010.
It's wild. Yeah.
It's like, did no one tell you? That's the biggest cultural coup of the LGBT movement is that just like even conservatives and Andrew Tate's like Well,
like,
Die Workwear always has his
every
very
button
funny.
is just clinging onto dear life on Andrew.
It's like, please, it's the frog like choking the crane.
Meanwhile, like every New York gay is dressed like a contract, like straight up just a carpenter.
Yeah. Which is actually pretty sick. It's like maybe like sperm count should go a little lower on that side, and we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll like be good for the future or something.
I've noticed there's this weird like unspoken thing where the right, whether it's the Rogan sphere or whatever, and Andrew Tate, they like own, at least on social media, they own working out, fitness, health. But if you actually think about like who they represent, who's the Trump, like the if you looked at like probably obesity rates in the places that voted for Trump, it's way higher than the liberal cities. But people are like in New York, LA, people are obsessed with Pilates and ClassPass and working out. But publicly, they're like very body positivity and like eat whatever you want. And so there's this weird, like, it's almost Soviet where like, even though none of us, like, we all have to say the body positivity line, everything's beautiful and eat whatever you want and there's no good diet. Secretly, like, we're obsessed with everything we're eating. We're eating hemp seeds and
everyone's on Ozempic and like it's wild.
Going
Everyone
to 10 classes.
Everyone looks torched. It's no. It's weird, and it's like I just feel like it's like all those conversations that like people were having in their Pilates classes or wherever like are happening in places that weren't online, and so like being able to like have that and broadcast that and give like people a starting point to look into all of that, like I kind of feel like that's like what the big opportunity there. Like it's like, oh, if I could like convince this person who thought working out was so corny and like sad and weird, that they could like, I don't know, lift a kettlebell, like that's cool. Yeah.
Well, I feel like every once in a while I'll see on Twitter, someone will be like, as socialists, we need to like all start taking martial arts so we can, defend ourselves. And someone else is like, oh, I have long COVID. That's actually really ableist. And you're like, all right, I don't think you guys you dudes are winning this revolution. We would take a CrossFit class.
For heavies, I interviewed my friend Sammy Reese, who runs this like great newsletter called Snake America. And he's like he's like a hardcore guy who's like, was really into that scene. And he was like, yeah, like there were all these hardcore zines back in like the 80s and 90s where it was like you should be strong and you should like be tough because it's like you got to like fight the cops if they try to arrest you or whatever. And I was like, yeah, that's cool.
And now it's like I don't even look my DoorDash driver in the eye. I'm not interacting with anyone.
It's like, wait, how many windows do I have to get through to get to the tip screen now? Like at the end of this transaction.
Yeah. Look at our socialists. We're never getting there. We ain't never getting a revolution, bro.
Yeah, but that kind of stuff bugs me. It's like, I don't know if there was ever a word for it, but it was like, the Subway ads where they're just kind of like, it's like kind of like adulting adjacent, where it's like, oh yeah, you deserve to like seamless and like be at home and watch Netflix and like, do all this stuff that's very cozy. And I'm kind of like, dude, heavies is like about like doing the thing that's a little bit hard and like kind of getting moving and like being a little bit resistant to like things that are that easy and make you like spend money that you don't, that doesn't even make you happy. And so I'm like, let's fucking go. It's like,
well, you feel better when you've done something hard. I don't think that's like I don't know. Is that fascist now to say that you have to like be uncomfortable?
It's ableist.
Well, this is an ableist.
I'm all about being ableist then.
Okay, that was Middlebrow.